We're live.
All right. Oh, you guys are great.
We are.
Are we off mute?
Yep.
Are we?
Yep.
We are.
Oh.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to
that
Dicey
one needs,
Adventures.
Him a bit.
We are, yes, as I said, we are Dicey Adventures, and we are continuing our Tales of Talerian campaign. So, yeah. If you're joining us, thanks for watching. Please feel free to subscribe, follow. I don't think you can subscribe, can you?
You can try.
You can try. Yeah. So, let's go ahead and pick up. So, last week we did a one-shot with an evil campaign shoot-off, but we're continuing on with our normal campaign right now. So, last we left off, our group of adventurers, Sinjin Psychowitz, the hero of heroes, Trin, Fury, Ashlyn of Tir Nanog, and Enid, Quartz Toggle.
You guys are just
We don't need more than one name.
You're too Your face.
You all... Yeah, can you slide that top camera maybe just a little bit towards this way?
I just looked at it, just like your profile.
No. The camera, slide it. Yeah. Nope, other way.
Other way?
Yeah, because then maybe we'll get less of your guys' hands and faces.
I don't know if that's making much of a difference at all. We just will not move.
Okay.
Your nose.
All right. His nose.
Will not move. I could zoom in a bit.
It's all fine.
Oh,
Oh wait, that doesn't make a difference.
I think I fixed it last time.
Well, if we still go like this.
You had your hand. You were holding a cookie. Oh, you manually zoom.
Oh, hi, otter pigs.
Zooming. There, it's all good.
Hello, otter pigs.
Welcome. Hello.
Hi.
Alrighty, so last we left off, our group of adventurers had just finished an intense battle at Teagard. You had defeated the enemies. You woke up. Didn't wake. You finished the battle. You spoke with Archer Leopold. You were able to get some information in about the people that attacked. After that, you started inquiring from several individuals. You met Bathilda Turffoot from the Arcanium, who serves the Arcanium, the god of magic. And from her, you were able to decipher that there might be more to particular words, specifically in helping you figure out the riddle that was inscribed in Abyssal on your cloaks that you had discovered. Death is the gate and the key. Death, she described as meaning potentially necrotic magic. Using that, Fury was able to open the portal, and you were able to discover several different items. One including a moon orb, a very own dagger, and a few notes. From that, you continued inquiring a little bit, and it was told to you that Zoran and Tybalt were on their way here, as requested by Leopold, which was good because you guys were wanting to meet up with them anyways, to help them on their quest. They arrived, you decided to travel with them, and you've begun your journey south to the Crags of Yaktar. So, you guys have rested for an evening. You still have about 3 days of travel before you get there. So, we'll kind of expedite it so we can get to the Crags. But is there anything you would like to accomplish or discuss during that period of time on your journey there?
I would just be reading my book more.
Okay.
I would want to, if Trin allows, at night try to use the Moonstone and look at that map that they let us keep and try to memorize as best we can.
Okay, you can also try to transcribe, like if you want to try drawing and stuff, notes and whatnot. What you do notice is that there's quite a few notes that describe what you do is you see the picture of the tower, and what you see is off to the right. You see there's a scribbling of a note. There's a simple description of what mechanism of the trap is. And then you can see that there's several different floors. There is one that you find interesting, is that you find it says treasure keep on there. That one is, it says unknown to how to access it. That is, but it's one that definitely said treasure keep is, but you see that's far underneath the tower. But yeah, whenever we get there, whenever you guys decide to, if you decide to travel to the tower, you will be able to notice certain, like, depending on rolls and stuff, but you'll have advantage and like
study it the best I can.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and make a roll d20 for me.
Oh, good.
And add your intelligence modifier.
Not good. 6.
6. It's one of those things where you use the moon orb and stuff, but it's the moon orb gives off its own radiance, but it's been cloudy the past few nights, and what you did notice is that when it's in direct moonlight, that it shines brighter and reveals more of the page. So it's hard, like, while you're trying to use it, it's difficult to try and decipher. So, okay, so you're doing that. Anybody else?
I'm sure I'm helping draw.
Okay. Okay.
I'm good at drawing.
I'm reading about weather patterns.
Okay.
In my second of my
Go
3
ahead
books.
and make a nature check for me then, as you're studying about that.
8.
Okay, you're reading. You're picking up more.
We're doing well.
You're doing well. Yeah.
Off to a great start.
Actually, you're doing better than me because I have no dice.
Trin, was there anything you were wanting to do during this period?
I don't know.
I'm my bestie.
I mean, I feel like I'd kind of be, small talk with all the people, like, how's it going, whatever. And then I'd probably be, like, watching what they're doing with the map and, like, just... I don't think I have any, like, specific thing, but I would be involved. I wouldn't be, like, ignoring them.
Sitting by yourself. That's probably what I'd be doing, too. Yeah.
Okay. And studying my new ring.
Okay.
The clear gem.
Bread
If
is
there's
for
anything to
lunch.
study about it, I don't know.
Bread and water is for lunch. Enjoy. Answering your question.
Oh.
Gotcha. So yeah, you guys continue traveling on. During this period of time, Tybalt describes kind of the area to you a little bit, and Zoran as well. Kind of, I've been here a couple times, mainly just collecting sulfur for the Mystic Arcanium. Other than that, it's a get in, get out type of situation. I haven't seen the temple. I don't know where it would be. So it's going to be more of us trying to navigate the rocky landscape that's there. We know it's there based on Tibbs's research. Yes, well, it is one of those things where it is very evident based on all the descriptions and the research that it is located there. But beyond that, I do not know. It is protected. The temple is by, I believe it's members of the Elementum Syndicatus.
What is that?
Well, it is the order of druids that
I've written down.
they're
the weird ones.
They are kind of eccentric, yes. They are not. They devote their life to one of these temples, and that is what they do. They do not necessarily have any answers. They've died out, but it used to be a very well-organized order, very similar to the Mystic Arcanium, but it has faded off in the past 600 years. There are much less druids in this world. Nature magic is not as prevalent as it once was in this area as the civilizations have developed. So, but I expect they should be friendly. As long as we do not mean any harm to them or the temple. So,
you've been here before, Zoran, and maybe you too, but what kind of monsters or creatures can we expect to encounter in the Crags?
Well, so this is Zoran talking. I've come across goblins before. I've come across orcs, hobgoblins. Beyond that, it's the various bear, wild beast.
Nothing crazy, giant.
Not that I've seen.
Bear.
Yeah, it stinks. I'm not gonna lie, the sulfur, it's very strong there. It does not smell good. So just keep your eyes and ears out. We're gonna lead you to the places that we've traveled, and hopefully we can figure out some information. But beyond that, I'm not really too sure what we're gonna find. Most civilized folk would steer clear of this place. So, yeah. All right. So you guys do that. Any other questions or any other things? We'll kind of fast travel to the edge of the Crags of Yaktar. So let me change some music. Boom, boom, boom.
We need craggy music. I imagine drums.
Or this.
So you get there, and what you see before you is as you've been going, the landscape has definitely changed. What was the smooth hills and grassland, now the ground is barren. At one point, you did pass the Lake Esme that was off to your left as you were continuing south.
Esme?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Lake Esme. I thought you just said past Esme. It's like casually past someone from our other campaign.
She's just there.
She's also dead.
Oh, we
Is she?
passed her grave.
I don't remember who Esme is.
Yeah. So you continue. You pass that. You can already start smelling some of the fumes that kind of are coming out. It's like when you drive south on 435.
Then I'm casting prestidigitation
and you
on my
hit the
sleeve
Missouri River, and you can just smell the sulfur
covering
and all
my
that.
mouth because I can make.
My cloak.
Ugh.
I'm casting prestidigitation on my cloak to make the smell of flowers and try to cover.
It's you get a mixture every now and then and it's a very pungent odor of just of the mix. There's unfortunately a south wind that's coming up that's just blowing it in your guys' faces, and
Just
it's
like traveling with Skittles.
This is a really stinky place.
you constantly see Buttercup just.
I'm sorry, Buttercup. I didn't know it smelled
Am I writing Buttercup?
Are you writing
There's a
Buttercup?
combination.
Riding together, I don't
No, you
remember.
guys take turns.
I would trade off between prestidigitation and then casting gust at the wind over Buttercup's head, so I don't like.
Knocking the horse down.
Yeah, so you continue going on, and eventually the grass begins to go away. And what you can see is the landscape you can see what appears to be just kind of some jutting up of rocks and broken land. But they don't stick high. It's not like mountains. Geology, I think crags are typically formed when icebergs go through and they hit like a pocket or something. I think they break up the ground more so, or anything like that.
Sure.
I think that's typically what it is. So,
I'm just thinking Utah.
Still thinking about Craig.
Craig who?
the Crags of Yaktar. Hey, how you doing? We're Craig.
She was spelling it Craig when she originally typed it up.
Yeah.
So you continue traveling and landscape, the jutting out rocks, and you can kind of see it dips. It lowers. The ground lowers here. It's continuing to go deeper in elevation. So you guys have traveled for about 4 days, and you are now at the mouth of the Crags. You can see there's a faint haze that kind of just sits in this area from the fumes. The gas is extremely pungent here. And all the wind and air that you were feeling in the fields has gone away. It's the rocks, as you've kind of dipped below, they kind of block all the airflow from this area, and it kind of just sits. And so it's just this murky. So if you think of like a swamp where the kind of the moisture just sits there in the swampy, this is like without the water. It's just the rocky landscape.
Is this where we leave the horses, or do we carry on with them?
Well,
I don't think Buttercup would like it very much in there.
I will say if we decide to leave them here, they'll probably be orc or goblin food by nightfall.
Oh, okay, so Buttercup can come inside with us then.
All right. Cool.
So, keep your eyes out.
Yep. I think
Sorry, Buttercup.
you Should keep your eyes out for things. You're much better at seeing things with your
I
eyes.
can keep my eyes out.
I mean, I'll help you, but you're more perceptive, I think.
Okay, so what's your marching order as you're going through? Tibbins, I would prefer to be in the middle if that is acceptable.
Are we on the 3 horses?
Zoran's like, I'll take the rear. Make sure nobody falls behind, nothing's following
I guess
us.
I'll go near
I
the
think
front
the
so I
gnomes
can
are on
look.
with Trin.
Okay.
Yes.
So we're probably in the front, I guess, or whatever.
I'm on Buttercup by Tybalt in the middle.
And then you're with Zoran.
I'm on Buttercup, aren't I?
You're right. We are both on Buttercup,
Yeah.
aren't we?
Are you guys on?
Buttercup
Oh, you guys
is
were on the
my
goat.
horse.
We were on the goat.
Because it's
That's
You
right,
and
the
I were
giant
on
goat.
the goat
yeah.
With Trin.
with
With
Trin.
So she was
Doing
using
that
she was
perception.
using every now and then. So, yeah.
First.
So I'd say that you've probably, I don't know, if you were traveling 4 days to keep up with the horse and stuff, to keep a good traveling pace, to make the good time to be here, like kind of morning, like noonish. So it's just getting into noon to be here in the Crags. So you get doing that. She's probably used all 24 hours. So you're gonna have to wait 7 days before you can use it again.
So we've just got 3 horses then.
So
we've got Tybalt
Zoran,
and Zoran each
Tybalt,
had a horse, and you've got one.
Yeah. So we're to kind of help with this. You essentially used all uses of your goat to get here to keep up with the horses and stuff to so you guys didn't have to worry about it. And you have to wait 7 days before you can use the goat again.
So wait,
can
did
we-
you say Zoran was in the rear?
Yeah, Zoran
We
is
both fit with Soren.
You and I probably could. We'll be with Zoran.
he's gotten off the horse. He's guiding the horse.
All right, we'll be on the horse in the back. Tybalt and you in the middle, and then you 2 up front.
Yeah.
Tybalt wants to be in the middle, so if you 2 are on a horse, then you guys are up front.
I would recommend not riding the horse.
What's the
You 2 are probably fine, but it's
he's too
just
tall.
to
I'll walk with.
walk gingerly and
Tybalt.
carefully to make sure that the horse can focus on just walking, because you can see the landscape is just very broken. It's not like
Are we all walking with the horses?
yeah, you guys are essentially pulling the horses with you as walking with them.
Because we were on them at the beginning.
Gotcha.
I was like, what's the
Well,
point
then I
of
guess
having the
Trin
horse?
should be in front.
Guys, if we wanted, I could have Philo look ahead for us.
That's what
Her owl.
perception.
He's been with us for like 4 days now.
Here's Zoran.
You named it.
Yeah, +3.
Yeah, I told you I named it when I first got them out
She's not
here.
on a horse.
You must not have cared. Funny that.
I was just
I don't
She's our
think it's
second
very
command.
funny. I think it's a little not nice.
Oh, well then Trin can be in the middle.
We can probably both.
I can look over her shoulder.
whatever. It's fine. Whatever order you guys want. We'll go with this order.
Her shoulder.
Got Lollipop Man.
Lollipop, lollipop, ooh, lollipop.
Leaders in the back.
Lolly, lollipop.
I'm on a horse.
Bum, bum, bum.
Come on, baby lollipop.
Like her.
Tell you why.
Oh, yeah.
Your kiss is
When's your leg
sweeter
gonna get
than a
better?
cherry pie.
We're singing as we go to the
All right,
Fury
so
just
you guys-
breaks out like a bass tone.
his favorite song.
So she's gonna
Yeah.
do that.
Alrighty.
Whatever.
So, you guys continue on for roughly 3 hours through this.
Gross.
As you've been going,
I'm on a horse.
the Crags Reactor span quite a bit of distance. Everybody, just go and make a perception check for me. As we're
Hope
kinda going.
some people are smart enough to
Is that
stay out of here.
Yeah.
Good one.
Oh,
That's more like
I know. I'm sorry.
15.
10.
16.
He had a 19.
I had 19, but it was
cocked.
cocked, so I re-rolled.
Yeah.
It was a 1.
Oh.
It was just like
I'm in the back. I'm
Actually,
not.
I had a
I
dream
got
about that. I
15.
rolled the dice and I was watching it.
a roll for Tybalt.
Well, I'm in the back.
I feel like I would be walking by Tybalt.
Okay.
In the middle.
Yeah.
Zorn's
Maybe
keeping an eye out in the
like
back. It doesn't appear to be anything. Tybalt is kind of like skimming through a book in the middle, so he's not really looking around. Okay, so Trin and Ash, you're kind of up in the front. You can see. The Crags dip down, so you've been following a path, and so the it's almost like you're in like a mountain pass, but it's a recessed mountain pass. Like you're in a ravine essentially with large rocks, and you kind of get to a larger opening area. And what you see is you can see in this area that it is a very thick fog as you've entered into this new area, and you can start hearing this.
That's good.
Excuse you. I don't think that was.
And then
With the horse.
Oh no. It was sulfury. Gross.
and the smell is just ridiculous here. It's unbearable. Yeah, but you can kind of see Zorn just says, well, this is about as far as I've ever gone, as I've collected the sulfur from here. I know a little bit of a path. You see him, he takes out like a scarf and like begins slowly tying it up around his face.
Do we all have something we can
I wish
do
I
that
had
with?
like
Do you have something that you would like to try and tie around? I'm assuming you all either have a handkerchief or something.
Yeah, I'll try.
Scarf.
I think I'm gonna have to actually cut off part of my commoner's sleeve.
I'm going to say my arm. I'm just going to cut off part of my arm and just go.
Just gonna go for it.
Okay, so you guys all tie something on.
Ooh,
So,
I'll use my old pants.
oh, nice.
Since I have new pants, I'll
Okay.
use part of that.
There.
Okay, so you're using some of your new pants. Okay, so you're all using something on top of the smell. Okay, so he's led you through a little bit of the ways, and at a certain point, you can see that the path veers off to the left and to the right, around a larger pool.
You do
That's in the
such a good
middle.
job with these.
So,
So how?
Zoran just kind of looks at you guys and just says, which way do you guys want to go?
Maybe we
can
should
go-
just close our eyes and point.
How obscured is our vision?
You only have about 30 feet ahead of you, and it's fog.
Is it still light out?
It's still light out. Yeah, it's still light. You've only been going
If I
for about 3
tried
hours. It's about 3 o'clock in the
casting
afternoon.
Gust, does it give us any more move?
You cast Gust, and as soon as you do that, you can see that it's weird. You see the air blow through that, and it gives you a brief reprieve, but immediately you just kind of see some of the clouds swirl, and it fills up the void.
I would try that down both ways just to see if I see anything.
Okay, make a perception check as you kind of do that to try to see a little bit of a clear path.
13.
13. Who else is? So you would have moved up to the front. I would say Trin and Ash. You can also make a perception check as he does this.
Oh,
That was a nice
22.
shift.
Yeah.
119.
I got 19, so
Nice. Okay. So what was your total?
22.
22.
19.
You do see what appear to be footprints going off to the right.
I see what appears to be footprints going off to the right.
are they goblin footprints? Or are they like people
kind of
footprints?
Footprints.
Since you've noticed them, you can try
I
to
will check.
make a survival check.
The feet or the feet?
Ooh, 4.
4.
Not
You're
sure.
not really able to make sure. It looks like you can just see that there's indentations in kind of the.
I
Maybe
can
they're
point
those-
to
Can I
someone can
attempt to
come
make a
look.
history check to see if I've ever seen these in the books I've read?
No, not the books you currently have
No, just in my.
in your studies.
I have an advantage on
I'll point out the footprints so other
history
people can
checks,
look
which
at
is the
them.
only reason why I've.
Advantage on history checks.
No, sorry, not advantage.
Proficiency.
That's what I meant.
Sure. I'll let you roll.
I was a studious kid. 14.
14. Best you can make. There's both larger footprints. There's smaller footprints. That's about the extent of what you can make out. That probably wasn't your primary focus necessarily.
Wasn't my favorite
was
subject.
focused on
Feet.
feet.
History of
Well-
creatures.
Is anyone
I mean, if we're voting, I vote we go towards the footprints.
Yeah, they could be nice feet.
It's probably
Would be nice feet, yeah.
possible.
Hopefully they're not attached to evil things.
You see Tibble just say, okay. Sorry.
Arcane phones.
What is that noise?
Yeah. I don't know.
Sorry.
She's practicing a new spell.
I'll talk to her later.
She's calling you again.
No, it's still the same phone call.
Oh.
So,
We're gonna follow the footprints to the right.
Yes.
all right. Well, so you guys shift off to the right, and you
the music
continue
comes
on that way. Kind of using the gust cantrip, you kind of keep seeing. It helps you see the path. You do see at one point that it looks like the water or the sulfur pond essentially kind of shifts over into the path. Like, so if you would have kept going straight, you might have fallen into it, and might have been good. I do need everybody to make a Constitution saving throw with advantage, since you all have put something on.
Natural 20.
7 and a 7.
Me too. I rolled 2 sevens too. 8.
12.
9.
14.
Okay, you two suffer 1 point of exhaustion as the smell, the fumes are just kind of.
I just smell singeing.
So you just have disadvantage on ability checks.
Okay.
That's not good.
So
Our eyes just got disadvantage.
Trying to see if I had protection from like
Not
poison, but
that
I don't.
in-game. Are you a paladin?
Yeah, I could do.
I think it's like level 6 though.
At Lesser Restoration.
I could do lesser restoration on
you see Zoran's also struggling a little
it's
bit.
greater restoration for
You see his eyes are watering pretty
for
heavily.
exhaustion.
Uh-oh.
Shoot.
Zoran,
So
you said?
Zoran,
I remember
Zoran,
because
yeah,
when
his eyes are
joined that
watering
campaign
pretty
that
bad.
he used greater on him.
Is this
Tibble-
disease? This is not disease.
No.
No. Just like
This is
you
just
sleep and it goes away.
This is just the fumes of the constant breathing into the sulfur.
Sure.
And just the environment you're in. It's making it hard for you to, like, the rest of you are kind of like making sure, like, as much as you can, you're kind of you take a deep breath as you kind of like as much fresh air as you possibly can get in any way, shape, or form, but it's hard, and so you're just resisting it a little bit better.
A cure wounds
think it's
or
for
lesser restoration doesn't help.
Do what?
Just wondering. Cure wounds or
would
lesser
not.
restoration? No. Okay. Cool.
Unfortunately, not. Greater restoration is
Yeah.
It's just you two? Or is it? Oh, not
Us
you.
and Zoran.
those two and Zoran. Yeah. So, yep. So you continue moving on for maybe another hour, and eventually you get to a spot where you can see that the ground begins to go up again a little bit, and you can see that it goes back up into more of the rocky landscape instead of the sulfur flats that you were in. So you move on, and this you get to a point where you get out of the haze, and it's a little bit of a fresher air than what you were in, and it's like,
We should take just a break here. Just catch our breath.
What time is it of the day?
it's probably 6 o'clock now. You've probably got about 2 hours left. Hour until sunset sets in, and the vision will start getting a little bit darker. It's about an hour and a half till sunset.
I'm gonna go like a little bit further and then.
And if it dips down again, then we make camp above the dip.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't dip down, we keep going till nightfall.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So you continue going. After about an hour, I need everybody to make a perception check for me.
16. Oops, I rolled 2. Hang on.
No, it's at the lower of the two.
Oh, so you take the lower? Oh, 9.
Oh, let me check.
Oh, wait.
Perception.